Hey there, creepy peeps. My name is Nightmare Maven. Welcome to my channel. Today is kind of a massive book haul. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. So happy you found my channel. Hopefully you stick around for a little while. If you like books, you're definitely gonna like this video, at least. Those of you that are returning, welcome back. So happy to see you again. Please don't tell the new people that I previously said I wasn't gonna buy any books this year, because that was a lie. This is over at least a month just to, you know, redeem myself a little bit. It is a combination of many different places. So there's a few books I got from work. There are a few that I got from Better World Books, a site which I frequent a lot. I'm not sponsored by them, but I would highly recommend you checking them out if you like getting used books. Then there are some that are from my local used bookstore. Then I got a box of books from Tor Nightfire, which I'm super excited about. So I'm gonna share all of that with you right now. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the books that I got from work. So I've been trying to get into manga a little bit because it is a huge seller in my store, and there's just so much in there and it's kind of overwhelming. So I'm trying to read a lot of different manga just to get an idea of like what people are into, and so I can give suggestions. There's a lot I've been reading digitally because some of these series go on forever and I don't really have the bookshelf space for that sort of thing. The ones I typically have been buying in physical form have been like ones that I feel like I'm gonna like and that are kind of like horror adjacent, because that's like my wheelhouse. Jumping off of that, I've been reading a lot of Junji Ito because he's kind of like the big name in horror manga. So I decided to pick up Tomi. I hope that's saying it right. So this is supposed to be like a femme fatale character. Like Tomi is the name of a girl who kills a bunch of people. She can seduce nearly any man and drive them to murder as well, even though the victim is often Tomi herself. While one lover seeks to keep her for himself, another grows terrified of the immortal succubus. Okay, so she's like a succubus kind of character. Sounds awesome. I'm just kind of like working through all of his books. And on another shift, I was shelving the manga section because we get so many every single day that it really needs to be shelved like every day. I just happened across these two that we got in and it just looks so cute. It's called Creepy Cat. I got the first 2 volumes because they're super small. And it is the cutest thing. It's literally just a bunch of like, it's not like a real like kind of like overarching story or anything. It's kind of just a bunch of one-shots. Some of them are related, that follow this like adorable like goth girl who moves into like an old haunted house, and there is a creepy cat that lives there, and it's just their adventures, and it's just so fucking cute. Let me just hold on. Like look at this. Look at that, it's so cute. It's just like stupid, creepy, cute, fun. Finally, the last thing I picked up from work is The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker. I mentioned this in my upcoming LGBTQ plus horror releases video, which you can watch up here, whichever side it pops up on. Hulu is doing like a reboot or a reimagining of Hellraiser. And so I wanted to read it, and it's not that long. So I think it's going to be more towards the end of the year when we get the reboot, so I have time to read this. I've not read any Clive Barker at all, so I'm really excited to finally be able to do that. These next 3 books are from my local used bookstore. My friend and I went shopping there the other day, and I picked up some books because it's a used bookstore. You find some cool stuff in there. So I picked up this 3-book collection from LJ Smith. It caught my eye. I'd never seen it before. I have the Night World series on my shelf. I was obsessed with that series in high school. I devoured those books and I read and reread them absolutely loved them. So I'm excited. I think this has to do with witches. Kind of a, ooh, like a magic school sort of setting. It just sounds really cool. I was obsessed with Night World, and so I just happened across it. I was like, I've never heard of this, but based on the author, I want to read it. Yep, it's Dark Visions, and it has 3 books in it: The Strange Power, The Possessed, and The Passion. Then I grabbed 2 more Stephen King because, at least with the Stephen King books that I own, I only have 2 more left that I own physically, like as part of my reading journey. So I knew I had to pick up more. So I picked up The Dark Half. Just sounded kind of cool. Yet another book kind of like about a writer character. Like I feel like Stephen King writes about these types of characters a lot. It's a writer who has a pen name, and that's his like horror writer persona, and it's like something about that persona coming to life and committing these gruesome crimes. It sounded cool. And it was only $7.50 for this hardcover, so I was like, why not? And then I picked up a short story collection because I want to read at least 1, if not more, short story collections during this Stephen King reading journey. So I picked up 4 Past Midnight. So I just happened across this one, thought it'd be good, only 10 bucks. So it's easy to pick them up when they're so cheap. All right, these next 3 are from Better World Books, which is a used online bookstore. A lot of used books. They do sell new books, and they get a lot of books from like libraries that are otherwise discarding them. I'm not sponsored, but I absolutely love the site, so it'll be linked below if you want to check it out and shop there, because it's a dangerous site, kind of. It's kind of dangerous. I picked up Amphigori 2. I have been reading the Amphigori books by Edward Gorey, just like collections of his like obviously illustrations, because that's what he's known for. I kind of read them out of order. I read Amphigori, which is not on this shelf. I don't know why I was going to try and point to it. And then I read Amphigori also, which is the 3rd one, and then I saw that they had a used copy of Amphigori 2. So I picked that up. I also thought I would pick up a young reader classic that I haven't read in ages, which is Bunnicula. I don't know what happened to my old copy from forever ago. Probably gave it away at some point. But I thought I would give it a reread because at work, it's our like young reader rediscovered classic. They do one every month or so. And then finally, I decided to pick up a Halloween book because I've got my Halloween spirit back. My like holiday lull is done. Usually January and February, I'm like completely burnt out on all the holidays, and I usually just have like a cooling off period. And then usually by the end of February, I get the like Halloween bug back. So I picked up Halloween Season by Lucy A. Snyder, which is a collection of short stories all centering around Halloween, I imagine. Master storyteller Lucy A. Snyder has filled her cauldron with everything that Halloween means to her and distilled it into a spellbinding volume of stories. With these pages, you'll find thrills and chills, hilarity and horrors, the sweet and the naughty. Just seems like an adorable and creepy Halloween anthology. So now this big old box that was very nicely sent to me by Tor Nightfire. So a representative from Tor Nightfire reached out and asked if they could send me some books. And I was like, fuck yeah. So shout out to Jordan from Tor Nightfire. Thank you so much. So they sent me a huge box of books. I also got a ARC for an upcoming book too. So I got sent an ARC for Just Like Mother. So, I mean, as you can imagine, this is going to be a creepy book about the idea of motherhood for sure, which is probably going to terrify me. I know it has to do with cults, like an escaped, like our protagonist escaped a cult, so we got like past trauma. It sounds so cool. It sounds super fucking scary. I'm very excited to read it. The rest of these I got sent are books that are already out, but they are part of the Tor Nightfire imprint. First up, I want to talk about really quick because it's part of our Creepy Book Club. They sent me a copy of Manhunt by Gretchen Felker Martin, which is our read for this month for Creepy Book Club. If you weren't aware, I have a book club. We read one horror book a month. and we talk about it. I host a live stream and we discuss it. A post-apocalyptic novel where the men of the world are gone crazy. I don't know if they're zombies, it's a virus, or what the deal is. And our protagonists are trans women, I believe. And they're just, you know, navigating this apocalypse, harvesting the organs of these feral men and just trying to survive. Sounds fucking awesome. I'm really excited to discuss this with everybody. I also got a copy of Nothing But Blackened Teeth, which is a very short novel, which is a haunted house story. I think there's supposed to be like themes of grief and depression, I think, and there's like touches of Japanese folklore in this. Very excited. They also sent me an adorable little pop socket with the face of the ghost on it, which is very cool. Super excited to read this. I'm obsessed with the cover of this. I face it out all the time at work because I just love the cover. I also got a copy of Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I know I've talked about Mexican Gothic on here before and how much I loved that book, so I'm so excited to read this. Vampires in Mexico City. And I mean, look at that cover. Looks kind of like, you know, like occultish. Love it. I also got a copy of Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes, which is like a haunted house story, but in space. In space. Like a ghost ship, but in space. I'm so fascinated by this. Like how, like, I feel like we very rarely explore like ghost stories set in space. Like I've tried not to look at too many reviews from it, but from what I've seen or skimmed past, this is terrifying is what I'm hearing. So I'm very excited to read this one. I also got sent a copy of Echo by Thomas Oldhoyvelt. I know. I have talked about Hex by the same author so many times. I know I've mentioned Hex in so many videos, recommended it so many times. I love that book. So I was so fucking excited to get this in the box. Just the tagline right at the top of the summary, I'm in. Nature is calling, but they shouldn't have answered. Ah! It's like a survivalist kind of supernatural horror. I think was it on TikTok or on Twitter or something? I saw a video, the author talking about it and just mentioning the words like a character is possessed by a mountain. If that doesn't get you to want to read it, like, I don't know what will. I got sent one that I was surprised to get because we've definitely had it for a while. It's been out for a little bit, but I'm very intrigued by it. It's a thick boy, so I was kind of scared of it, but it's The Living Dead, George A. Romero and Daniel Kraus. It's a thick book. I was kind of scared by it. I assume it's zombies. I haven't really read many zombie books, to be honest. I always just feel like it's something I need to see, but I'll be very interested to see how it plays out in book form. All right, 2 more here. I know this is a long video. I also got sent to me Sundial by Catriona Ward. I hope I said their name right. This is, from my understanding, like creepy kid, kind of like past trauma sort of story. It's like something's going on with like this family's daughter, so they take her back to her hometown or where she was born, childhood home, and creepy shit happens. There's something about like horror set in like a desert setting that just is really excited to me. I'm not saying like Mexico City is a desert setting, but kind, you know what I mean? Like kind of like that hot setting. Not a dark, dank forest, not an old, musty, haunted house, not a like New England setting. Something about like having the juxtaposition of like intense sunlight, very little shade, scary stuff. speaks to me. I love the dark and dank and the New England setting and the creepy haunted house too, but these are always like refreshing. And then lastly, also by Catriona Ward, I got a copy of The Last House on Needless Street, which I let my coworker have the ARC for this. We did get the ARC at work and I wanted it real bad. But I let my coworker have it, which is fine now because I got a copy of the book. So as you would imagine, haunted house sort of story. But I think it follows multiple different characters, including a cat. From what I understand and what I've seen online, there are parts of this book that are from the point of view of a cat. Which I am very intrigued by. They also sent me a little pin that goes with this book, which kind of perpetuates that idea. It's a cat with a knife in its mouth, which is very adorable and terrifying. So I'm very excited to read from the point of view of a cat. That was a lot of books I got sent, a lot of books I bought myself. Wow. So hopefully maybe I've given you like maybe some stuff like maybe you want to pick up and read. I don't know. Just to share some books I got recently. The video is not sponsored or anything, but I just want to say thank you really quick to Tor Nightfire for sending me all of those books. That was insane. I didn't think it was going to be... I didn't think it was going to be that many books. I thought I was getting like 2 or 3. All right. That's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Become a creepy peep today. I post a new video every week. Couple of live streams a month. So I will see you very soon with something. Until then, stay strange. Bye.